So we talked about the Hindu-Muslim unity through Lucknow Pact. Now, in order to unite, Congress had accepted the separate electorate to the Muslims. Now, what could be the impact the unity of Hindu-Muslim must have created? So it had alarmed the British government to announce its future policies, by which, or in such policies, now British government announced the policies in which the association of the Indian in the government, right? Association of Indians with the government increased, and there was to be a gradual development of the local governing institutions, right? Local self-governing institutions. So, alarming of the government or British government. Right. So this had been the impact of Lucknow Pact. Right. So you can consider these different highlights in this heading. So important step to achieve Hindu-Muslim unity. Hindu-Muslim unity. Right. So anti-British feelings among Muslims generated, right? Anti-Muslim feelings among anti-British feelings generated among the Muslims. Right? So obviously, it was following the war between the, right? How? So I can write following war between Britain and Turkey. Britain and Turkey. So this had actually opened the way for Congress and Muslim League unity. Right. So Congress and League held a joint session. It held a joint session at Lucknow. At Lucknow, right, in 1916, and concluded the Lucknow Pact, and concluded Lucknow Pact. Right. So for that, Congress accepted. What Congress had to sacrifice? So Congress or approve the demand. So Congress accepted separate electorate. Separate electorate, right? And both organizations now, that is Congress as well as Muslim League, demanded dominion status for the country. So what do you understand by dominion status? Someone please, dominion status for the country. Dominion status for the country. So its impact of this Lucknow Pact was what? Right. So Hindu-Muslim unity. Hindu-Muslim unity alarmed the British and forced the government. Thank you. Power from legal system, that is dominion status. Forced the government to announce its future policy. So by announcing such policy, now the Association of Indians, right? So Association of Indians in government increased. Right. Association of Indians in government increased. Right. And the gradual development. Of local self-governing institutions. Right. Of local self-governing institutions. So this is what the Lucknow Pact brought to us. Right. Now later on, after this Lucknow Pact, you can come across the Montague Declaration, which was also termed as August Declaration, happened in 1970. So what this Montague Declaration is? So Montague Declaration you can call it as August Declaration. Right. So that was in 1970. Now, according to the Montague Declaration, the control over the Indian government would be transferred gradually to the Indian people. So how you can look at this kind of transformation of British? So it was a result of Hindu-Muslim unity exhibited through the Lucknow Pact. Right? So according to the Lucknow Pact, right, you can come across this kind of transformation of the British. Right. So simply, right, one liner remember, right, about the Montague Declaration. Right. So the control over Indian government would be transferred gradually to the Indians or Indian people. Right, to Indian people. Right. So this is what you will be considering as the Montague Declaration. Right. See, till now you haven't come across the appearance of Gandhiji. Right. Now you will come across the appearance of Gandhiji, and this particular era is known as the Gandhian Era. Right, the Gandhian Era. Right. If anybody wants, you can. Done. I hope that you must have finished. So now you can come across the Gandhian era. Right. Gandhian era, obviously from 1917 to 47. That is up to independence you will be considering. Now, in this, so what you will be thinking very first? So it is nothing but the so some of the facts about Gandhi. Obviously, on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat, he born. 2nd October. So everyone knows it. Now UNO has declared, in fact, UNO had declared the 2nd October as the International Non-Violence Day, right? Antarashtriya Ahimsa Divas. His father was Karamchand Gandhi, whereas mother was Pudlibai, right? Is there anyone who knows the political guru of Mahatma Gandhi? Who was the political guru of Mahatma Gandhi? So as like whole country was calling Mahatma Gandhi as Bapuji, so Gandhiji was calling someone Bapuji. So till then I will tell you. His private secretary was Mahadev Desai, right? So this is what you can consider at personal side. Then how Gandhi was influenced, right? So there are two things. Yes, Sid. It is nothing but Gopal Krishna Gokhale. So political guru of, yes, Aditya. Political guru of the Mahatma Gandhi was Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Right. So how Gandhi was inspired? There had been two incidences, or there had been two things. One is the literary influences, and another is literary work. Right, literary influences, vachan, literary work, writings. So these were the two things which have uh, influenced Gandhi, rather inspired Gandhi. So John Ruskin's Unto This Last, right? Unto This Last. Then the Bible and the Gita, right? Bible and the Gita. So these are the literary influences which had influenced Gandhi. And Gandhi had written, or his literary work is considered as Sarvodaya, right, published in 1908. Then translation of Unto This Last in Gujarati, right, Hind Swaraj in 1909. So John Ruskin's book of Unto This Last was translated in Gujarati as a name, Hind Swaraj, in 1909. Then obviously the last one is nothing but the My Experiments with Truth, right, which reveals the events of Gandhiji's life up to 1922. Right. So this is what you will be considering the influences on Gandhi, right? Literary influences and the work which is called the literary work, right? So that is the two things you should always keep in mind. Now, as an author, he has written that particular books. What about another kind of writing? So as an editor, right, of Indian opinion, he had also channelized certain kinds of movements. So from 1903 to 15 in English and Gujarati, right, as well as for a short period in Hindi as well as in Tamil, right. He had been the editor of Indian opinion. Then from 1919 to 31, he had been an editor of Harijan, right, which was in English, Gujarati, and Hindi. He had also written, he had been the editor of Young India from 1933-42, which was in English and Gujarati. Right. So later on it was named as Navjeevan. Right. So what were the names given to Mahatma Gandhi? Right. So other names you can know, that is Mahatma, called Sant. Who had given this name? Mahatma. Till then I will tell you some other names, Malang Baba or Nanga Fakir. Right. You can consider it as naked Sant. Right. So then half naked Sant, right, Ardhananga Fakir or Indian Fakir or traitor Fakir, right? So you can consider these names. So these names were provided by Winston Churchill. Then Rashtrapita. So he was also called as Rashtrapita. So who said Rashtrapita? So who had given the name Rashtrapita to Gandhiji, and who had given Mahatma the name to Gandhiji? I can give you a hint. Both the personalities were from the same state, and that is from Bengal. Nobody knows. Yes, Rabindranath Tagore called Mahatma and Subhash Chandra Bose called Rashtrapita. Right. This is what you can consider as far as the life of Gandhi. So shall I write some of the things? In my opinion, I think there is no need to write. Quickly, let me know. Okay, fine. That would be the good thing. Right, moving ahead. Now, let's start looking into main events during Gandhian era. So already we have come to 1917. Right. So the next main event you can consider. Okay, I will just write a name of the book. That is nothing but John Ruskin's Unto This Last. Right, Unto This Last. Right. So keep in mind, and obviously two others you will be very easily remembering: Bible and Gita. Got it? Right. So the among main events, you can consider the Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act, that is in 1919. So during the viceroyalty of Lord Chelmsford, a sedition committee was appointed by the government in 1918 with Justice Rowlatt, so which made a certain recommendations to curb the seditious activities in India, right? And therefore, the Rowlatt Act 1990 gave unbridled powers to the government. So, what kind of powers provided the Rowlatt Act to the government? That is to arrest and imprison the suspects without any trial. Right? If government thinks that someone is suspect, then they can directly arrest and imprison that particular person, right? Without any trial, right? There will be no the interrogations or the pre-informations, right? No, directly they can, yes, they can, yes, exactly. They can arrest and put it into the jail, that is imprisoned. So this act caused a wave of anger among the people of India. So before the act was passed, the popular agitation had begun against the Rowlatt Act, right? And Gandhiji decided to fight against the Rowlatt Act. So he gave a call for Satyagraha, right, on 6th April 1919. Though he was arrested in this on 8th of April 1990, right? So this had further led the intensification of the agitation, right, at different cities such as Delhi, Ahmedabad, and Punjab, right? So once he got arrested, then the intensity of the movement had increased, or it had intensified further. So this is what you can consider the Rowlatt Act. So what the Rowlatt Act have done? So Rowlatt Act gave powers to government to arrest, right, and imprison and imprison. Yes, next point, that is Jallianwala Bagh massacre, right? So to arrest and imprison the suspects. right? So without trial, without any trial, right? So this act caused caused a wave of anger, a wave of anger among the people. Wave of anger. Yes, exactly, to repress the political activities as well. Right. So Gandhiji decided to fight against, and so Gandhiji called a satyagraha. Right, that was on 6th April 1919. Right. He arrested on 8th April 1990. And obviously, this led further intensification. Intensification. Right. So this led further intensification. Right. So this is what you can consider about the Rowlatt Act. Right. If anybody wants, you can take this. We are going to stop here. Okay, fine. So thank you, everyone. We will be stopping here. Rishikesh sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm done with this. So I'm going to stop here.
Okay, sir.